tour will make that very clear. So they are telling their partisans to turn out, get their T-shirt for printing, and the city is going to be all grain on Sunday at the Anthony Totma Stadium on Sunday, not tomorrow, but Sunday. They released their itinerary for Sunday. They said rescue one former Vice President Joseph Yuman Barker will lead supporters from SKD Sports Complex in Painesville. Rescue 2 Senator Jeremiah Kuhn will lead supporters from the Police Academy Junction in Painesville. The rescue mother and campaign chairperson, Senator Yumbli Kanga Lawrence, will lead supporters from the Nigerian House at Old Road Junction. Campaign manager, Senator Prince K. Moy, will lead supporters from 72nd Junction in Painesville. The vice campaign chairman, Senator James Banning, will lead supporters from VOA Junction in Painesville. Maserado campaign chairman, Senator Abraham Darius Dillon, along with Maserado senatorial candidate Wilmon Pate, will lead supporters from Badnersville Junction. The Rescue Princess, MOL political leader Magdala Cooper, and NDC will lead supporters from MOL headquarters in Congo Town. The Rescue Daughter, Senator Boto Kanen, along with the Economic Freedom Fighters of Liberia, will lead supporters from Point Four Junction on the Bushro Island. The national chairman, Luther Trape, will lead supporters from Unity Party headquarters on Broad Street. Mo Ali concluded by saying in his statement, all legislative candidates will lead their supporters from their respective districts. The assembly, he said, will be at the ATS. The situation or the stadium opens at 7 a.m. on Sunday, September 17th. This is their itinerary for Sunday, the 17th of September. That is day after tomorrow. And they will be assembling to state their position by their gathering. It is a competition, the crowd politics. You got the crowd politics in Liberia. The crowd politics is everybody showcasing that they got the large crowd, they can pull out the large crowd, and as evident by the size of the crowd, that also one round victory. So as Unity Party partisans are getting ready, CDC will urge their supporters not to venture out, but to stay clear of every and anything Unity Party on Sunday. Likewise, other stakeholders within the process or standard bearer and independent candidates will urge their supporters to stay clear of everything Unity Party on Sunday. Let's get this piece of advice from a stalwart of the Coalition for Democratic Change, Eugene Jobo, urging his supporters to stay clear on Sunday from any and everything Unity Party, that it is their day, they had theirs, and it went peaceful. So must Unity Party assemble and have their rally peaceful. Though he said it is one round for them for CDC.
Please remain quiet. Stay home on Sunday. Don't go anywhere. Your fingerprint, your hard work will be demonstrated on Ottawa 10. Don't force with anybody. Don't argue with anybody. Don't argue. This election is over. There are people who want to create animosity, Confusion, stay away. This election is already King Solomon's story. The woman knew that this guy wasn't horse. King Solomon asked, and she said, "No, let's share the child." The opposition want us to go back to the dark days. Liberia is bigger than citizen government. We will not support anybody. We will not support anybody. And this is why I want you, asking you, on behalf of the county chairman, Alexander City, stay away on Sunday. Don't argue with anybody. Remain peaceful. This election is first round.
Eugene Jobo of the Coalition for Democratic Change. We came back to Unity Party, but let's talk President George Weah and his trip, the impact. Grace Joshua Williams traveled with the president on his tour. She's back on base. The president is off to the United Nations General Assembly, as it is the custom. It was a wonderful trip, wasn't it, Grace?
Well, this morning I'm grateful to be here and serving the public remains something that is very, very important, especially for the force of Liberia family. And the president tour recently to Central Liberia, to be precise, Bon County, was welcoming, and the Liberian people turned out in their numbers to make sure that his visitation was fruitful. So, during his visit, he visited almost all the districts in Bon County, including Palala, Salala, Watala, and he was just so happy. He never even wanted the tour to finish. He wanted to make sure to reach all the districts. But as you know, the UN General Assembly is something that is of great preference and importance as 193 member states as to convey it in New York from 19th to the 26th of this month to make some important decisions. So he had to come back to Monrovia to get ready to leave Liberia.
And it was in Bonn County. He did announce Vice President Joe Howard Taylor as a possible replacement if he's elected, re-elected 2029.
Yeah, the whole thing came like this. The president was making a speech and the crowd was shouting. They were jubilating. You could see the excitement in their face. So he went ahead to tell them that what we are doing here is just the beginning. We support women inclusion, we support women participation, and what is of essence is the fact that we've been carrying your daughter all throughout. We have never left her behind. The whole plan we have now is to make sure that after I'm re-elected, that I stand on my feet, canvas for Taylor, and make sure that she's elected as president of this country to follow in the footsteps of former President elect Johnson Sirleaf. So he was telling them that it's not only about President Weah, but it's also about supporting women political participation and making sure that women are brought on board as per the presidency as well.
And when that came, uh, how how did you see the people? What your observation was when he immediately said that? Did it seem like the people were already in excitement for it, or that from your own reportage, it was something that he's just trying to buy the votes from Bond County?
I will only estimate if someone says President George Manivia is trying to buy what, because what the receptions I watched and observed from that part of the country was something that is natural, something that the people did not fake. And I don't think announcing Vice President Tito has served in any way as a form of more support for him. It's just like what is right should be done. She's a female, she should be included. She should not be cut off because she's a female. But the fact that she been there for him when nobody was, she been there making sure that his presidency is successful. When rumors has it that they were split, she were there. She should continue to remain. I think what is right is to listen and do the right thing. So, for what I saw in Bone County, some interview I conducted, the people of that part of the county has received numerous development, countless development. I can name some of them as their electricity. As we speak, the street of Patara were electrified before we left from there. Solar plates were placed on the street of Patara. And when I interviewed a three person, it was like in their life they have never seen street light in Batara City. The other fellow I interviewing is like 64 years old. He was like, all through his life, this is the first time to see such an act carried on by a president. We went to the gold mine area, and citizen there was like, president has never visited us before. I'm so happy that today citizens of this country can be alive to see a president, seated president, visiting us, and you can see for yourself that the president were able to electrify their their county in some areas. They talk about the project from World Bank that will hit the whole county. The president visited there. He passed on the road leading from Banga to that of Lofa County. The pavement is going on when he visited the Panta district. When he went to Panta, the people there were so happy. And there was like the other lady in her remark, if you follow the audio and all the live video, she said, when we used to build our houses before, the dust will cover the roof. But because of this road, we can put zinc on our houses, it can get dusty. But on the other hand, we as like has not seen the president work in some part of the country, but for both county, I can tell you for sure that the people are resolved. And what I saw there as a recruiter was something different, was something natural. People presenting the key of the city to him, people welcoming him, people bringing the other lady said printed about 142 t-shirt on her own account. She's not even into government. She's not even part of the city, CDC, but she pushed her way through the crowd. The EPS people tried to stop her. He said, no, let the woman come. When she came, she brought a pack of t-shirt. She said, President, for the work you do in Liberia, especially the country, what we see, let my support you. The t-shirt printed. So these are some of the things we observed over there.
So she's the second person that gone down in history in these campaign periods to contribute to what President Weah has done. A couple of days ago, we saw Panto, the Liberian musician, called Street President, giving 250,000 Liberian dollars. That's very good. But apart from the political side of it, the life, what's your observation of the life of the people there, apart from the political stuff, switching on lines and other things? How did you observe the living there?
For me, I will tell you the best part of Liberia to stay is the rural part because life there is very, very simple. You don't have a lot of challenges when it comes to getting natural water to drink. Of course, there are hand pumps and well being dug, but the rivers remains life for the people. That's their livelihood. That's their way of life, and that's something you cannot take from them. And the natural phenomenon, the breeze, the trees, just see the beauty of life itself from that atmosphere, passing through the jungles, the bush, making sure the president visit brought different team to me. Is I did not look at it from a political standpoint. I look at it as Liberia is a unique country that because of our uniqueness, we are different from the whole world. When I went to the village, looking at my mother's beating their rice, going on the kitchen, going get that water. They get a pot. They don't have the normal bucket. We have that calabash something. They will take it to get their water. They own in their kitchen. I was able to come across two persons on their farm while the president was passing. They were cleaning their farm and painting that cooking. You could see nature itself is beautiful. And that's something that nobody can take from Liberians. And the way they dress, the way their cultural people carry themselves, the way women carry themselves is far different from Maserado. And the way one thing that I noticed that is huge difference from Maserado and that of Bone County is the diet. You see that all in the street of Maserado, people don't regard where they throw trash. But on that side,
It's completely
you
different.
can't see a plastic bag in the street.
Wow.
You can't see it. They don't joke with that.
And why is that? Why do you think is responsible? Why the place is kept clean?
For me, I would think be the fact that the place is now overpopulated and the mindset that they are not divided. But Maserado, we have people from different counties make up Maserado. But Bon County, they have the traditional leaders, they have their set of people that they listen to, like the superintendent and the senators, the representative, and those people, anything they say becomes law to them. They have to abide. So if
So
they
that
say
means
no,
they have system in place. The
yeah,
city governance in place.
yeah. And apart from the cities governments, there's people that grow up traditionally and know fully well that you can't just put what you use on the street. I think that's something that most Rado County is lacking. Yeah.
And what the representative had to say, Mema Briggs Mensa.
Mema Breeze, District, to be precise, Salala, she was precise on what she had to say that the president were able to build a market in that part of the Palala district. Were able to build a market, as excuse me, Salala to build a market. And the market women were confined. They stand by him and they requested for zinc to go over because it's just when they constructed the market, the place has started leaking. The president left there and make available those things for the market. And even the cities in Batara that were affected, the houses that were affected by the war, the roof started leaking, all these things. The president was able to make sure that he gave 100 bundles of zinc that those houses be renovated. Uh, but remember, uh, it was precise that she's staying with the president, even though she's now on the party ticket right now, but she's staying with the president, and she's going to make sure that people supporting her should also support President Biya.
She's only a affiliate of CDC, but she's not a member of CDC and a friend to the president.
Yeah, she always stand by him, and she will do it this time around.
Okay, thank you so much, Grace, for such a vivid update. Let's move to this next one. I want you to have a listen of it.
As of yesterday, we had 9 new cases. That has brought our cumulative to 5,750. We had two new recoveries, bringing our total recovery cumulative to 5,410. As of yesterday, we have 57 active cases in the country. And unfortunately, as of yesterday, we had no new death, but the total cumulative is 283 deaths, within the country. 10% of the population should be vaccinated. As it stands, as of this morning,
Oh,
we only have
so I
2.5%.
think this is the wrong one. That is Dr. Kitty. He also released the statistics of uh, a horrifying report or horrifying statistics that shows alarming rate of rape cases in Liberia. And what did he say? What did he say? That about 4,000 of those cases led to pregnancy, while 98.9% of those pregnancies landed in unsafe abortion. He went further to say that the statistics show that much more is needed to increase awareness and institute the necessary measures to ensure a reduction in the years to come. In essence, the rate of pregnancies are at a very high rate, and given the various circumstances, most of them lead to abortion, whether unsafe abortion or safe abortion. But the bottom line is, this report is as troubling, is as alarming, and it means that Liberia society is just open to any or every kinds of abortion, whichever way And if it continues this way, if there's no sensitization, if there's no education, it's going to have a serious impact on the country, especially with most of the females, if not all, and the younger ones.
Yeah, looking at the fact that abortion is not a new thing, something that been existing from down the line, and we all know that it's something that affects everyone. And the fact that we are talking abortion, I will also want us to look at um, this whole scenario from another perspective. When the whole public health bill started, like this one, we cover about, let's just say, 30 harmful provision in the public health bill that is being pushed on the legislators and the Senate for passage. Uh, the College of Gender Studies and Research at the University of Liberia were able to discover 30 harmful provision in the public health bill that prevent, if passage, we will have to accept the LGBTQ in our community. We have to accept the fact that women can abort anytime. And we also have the fact to accept that women, if they don't want to give birth at all, have the right not to give birth. But I would like to look at it from this side of the table. Why is it that we're not having more abortion cases from the rural area? But if you look at the statistics, it's high in Maserati County. It's very simple.
Yeah, and that's a very salient point. Yes.
One, because our tradition out there, like for the Bon County and Lofa County, is still intact. I still to be corrected. Very, very intact. And our older women are still teaching girls the moral of how they should carry themselves, when they should start having sex. And if having sex, that person automatically become the partner. For example, Grand Judah County, precisely the Wulu Gold Camp and Papaye Gold Camp. I visited that Gold Camp in 2018. I went to plain Liberia. You will observe that there's a law in that town that any man that pregnant a woman, you automatically marry to that woman. Once that woman is pregnant for you, to the extent that if that woman have 2 to 3 children for you, and another woman get pregnant, that woman will have to accept that other woman as her second wife or her co-wife. Why? Because that woman is carrying a child for you. That is our customary law, and we cannot take that. Tradition demands that a man can get married to 2 to 3 wives if he wants. But in Maserado, there is no culture intact, there is no tradition intact. Girls are allowed to have free will, what we call human rights, to the extent that young girls can start having sex at the age of 13. And Ministry of Health also derail our whole culture to this extent. They make available condoms and family planning to the children at that age, even from 16 years. If you go, you can carry your child for family planning. That family planning is another form of abortion as well. I'm a researcher. I don't look at things from one direction. When I say family planning is another form of abortion, you do your research, you will get to know. Because every sperm release carry 99.9% if the egg is fertilized to pregnant a woman. Okay? So if you are giving me medication to depress, you're giving me macrogynas to depress that sperm count from producing or fertilizing a baby, I'm also aborting that baby before it's formed. But if I use condoms, which the Ministry of Health is also promoting, you will get to know that every sperm count releases is being destroyed as well. It's not fertilized. Biblically, it's a sin. I just want to take it from that direction because if we just look at abortion alone, you will know that people will say women have the right to their body, women have this. Okay, fine. You deprive that child from fertilizing, from family planning, and now condoms from meeting the eggs to produce a baby. That is also another form of abortion. And these are things the ministry is also promoting. And these are things traditional leaders are against. Telling people that they
So,
said
in essence, you're saying, Grace, that what we have here, that
it's messed up.
yeah, so open, the people in the rural area, they are not exposed to all of
All of these
these
things,
Western stuff.
they are not. If you get pregnant, go and do your research. If you get pregnant, that man know he want to take care of 2 to 3 family. Why he pregnant you? He will have to provide for you. You have to find way to find food for you until you get birth. If you get birth now, you can join other women in school and other places to be able to feed that child. But once the chief in our town get to know, the chief in our town get to know that that you have pregnated this woman, you automatically becomes a main wife. But in most around here, what they promote, what the Ministry of Health promote, they're not teaching. What I recommended when the bill came out, the public health bill, I keep saying, is the fact that we're not looking at it from this direction. I would say this in an open form and still to be corrected. Liberia has culture and tradition. We have our livelihood that we uphold. And we also believe in the fact that all children have right to life. That is something our generation has known over time. And no Western culture will change that. If today you tell a white man, say, okay, since you are a white man, put down your culture and start doing something in polo society, they will tell you, I do not agree. Because the polo is they say it's harmful. You do female genital mutilation. Okay, they're telling us you do female genital mutilation. It's wrong. Why is it they recommending that a man can remove his organ to change to transform to woman? Is that not also wrong?
Transgender.
It's very, very wrong. It's not possible that a man would possibly transition from a male to a female and don't have complications. I did my research. There are 23 harmful complications you will have when you transition from male to a female. These are some of the harmful provisions I'm talking about. So if you're telling a woman she has the right to abort when she get pregnant, it should only be considered, which is already in our law, if she's raped. If she's raped or health complication, which is already in our law, you can abort
That her life is at
at
risk.
risk. But if not, I get willingly consented she has sex and she get pregnant. Also know, and you telling us that you can from up to 1 to 24 weeks you can abort. Abort 24 weeks. Do you know how many months pregnant that woman is? She will also die. And one thing you should not forget is that child she's carrying had the right to life as well. So if you're telling me she had right to her body, the child she's carrying had right to life.
They pro choice, the pro choice will argue, Grace, that at that level you are explaining, it's just a sperm, just a fetus. It's not, it hasn't taken on any human form yet. So it's abortion or termination can go on.
Okay, one thing I want you to understand: nobody is perfect. One way or other, women make mistakes because we don't know this information. But every baby, every sperm that enter into your fetus, I'm a researcher. I stand again. We don't just talk.
No, that your era,
The fact is, yeah,
explain. You're
uh-huh.
providing,
Until
you're
another theory
providing
come up,
education also.
to debunk what I'm telling you. Once a woman egg is fertilized by a sperm, even after 24 hours, and that baby is aborted, that baby that is killed, the mother cells remain with that baby. And
Ah,
part of that baby cells remain with the mothers. That is life. That is life forming at that time. Just how if you crack a chicken egg before it hatches, you kill a chick. That's the same way. Okay, we're talking about abortion. Why can't we talk about not eating eggs around here? Or putting stop to eating animals and fishes? We should also know that these children have their right to life. Once they are formed, this is something God did not give us dominion over. God not give us dominion over destroying life. So we should stop it. The Western world is polluting the whole world in some direction. There are some cool things the Westerners have taught us about Christianity and other things. But this abortion and LGBTQ is something that I will not accept.
go on, Grace. Go on. You
I
go on.
can't
Go
accept it
on. Go on.
because the fact that
Yeah, continue. Continue. All right.
the fact that we want to do the right thing. We want to stand in a space and take something that is not ours, something that have not been existing, something that have not coexisted before. That is taking all of the Western tradition and copying it. That will not make us unique as African. That will not make us. The SRHR is very good. The SRHR talks about
What is the SRHR?
sexual reproductive health. Talk about how I can keep myself when I'm menstruating, how I can be able to take care of myself as a woman when I see my time, how I can be able to take care of my reproductive health, when to have sex, how when I have sex to take care of the fetus. These are something we encourage. But why I will not tell anybody that the public health bill will forbid me if it is passed to have access to my child's sexual life. It will also not allow my children to learn the academic things because sexual education will be added. And the sexual education that will be added will include the masturbation sex, anal sex, vaginal sex, animal sex, all form of sexes will be taught our children. And that will divert them from what they're supposed to learn when it comes to the academic curriculum.
So that's the impact it is having. Those orthodox methods, all of some of which you've explained, and all of these are not in rural Liberia. The people not exposed to
And
it.
people don't
So
get time. Why
you
you see
don't
them producing more children?
you don't have termination or abortion there, or you don't have an alarming rate as it is in urban Liberia.
People doing it there undercover and some of them killing people and all undercover because if they get pregnant and maybe you the doctor sleeping or something and the chief and others don't know about it in the town, it's sling to you, you provide them pills and they die. But it's not as rampant as it is in Montreal. What a girl can just walk to the counter and say, give me this, or go to this place and say, I want to do abortion.
Samira Wala is behind the microphone. You agreed with Grace or you disagree? What's your opinion on it? This alarming rate of pregnancy, according to Dr. Kitty, it leads most of it to unsafe abortion. And Grace couldn't have put it any better that in urban Liberia, it is the normal, given the Orthodox style, and then in rural Liberia, it's by far less. If abortion is taking place, it's not at a high rate, like she rightly said. People do it in secret. You agree with her or you disagree? What's your opinion?
I do agree with
That's
her.
Friday, man. That's Friday, so it's such an issue.
I do agree with her because, like, I'll take it from the Bible angle, right? It is said that you should get married before you have a kid or get into or sexual activities. It was what the Bible said. But then if you know that you are not yet ready to have a child, I guess that you don't do what will give you a child. Because the abortion thing is very risky. It's very risky because
What's the risk in it?
okay, Yari said you go and then you have a baby maybe 2 months old and you want to go and get rid of that pregnancy, when you happens to take off the pregnancy, like you don't know as to if you still have something in you. You don't know what's going on within your body. That's one of the aspects of it. You at times some of these things might even leave in you, it starts to get rotting there. You will suffer with severe pain.
Like what is referred to as DNC?
Yeah, the DNC. It's not even the DNC, even the pills. It happens at time. Um, um, I got this person. They explained it to me like they went and got the pills from a clinic, and then it was in the clinic. They did everything, but it was not DNC. They did the pills in the clinic. Do what the doctor did, what he was to do that day, and she left from there. But when she came home after 1 month, she couldn't see her period again. So it started to be alarming. She went back at the hospital, and then the guy said that you and then the guy said that you have to do the DNC because the pills that will give you, it never took off everything. So you have to do the DNC. These are some of the risks in aborting a child. Because she went there at first and she took the pills, right? Now she had to go back. He said that there were some things that got rotting within her. So she had to go back so that they can do the DNC. It's very risky for you. At times, you don't even know as to if that's the only egg you have to get that child. That's the reason why I say most of the women nowadays they are going about they don't have child because who knows what they did beyond there. At times, it might be your only egg you'll be taking off. That's one of the risks in aborting a child. So if you don't want to have belly, so if you don't want to have belly, then you don't do things that will give you belly. That's my own take on this whole abortion. And I don't deem it necessary because if you have or pregnancy, something that is from God, okay, you have to keep it because you went and you did what you wanted to do to give you a child. You wasn't watching a cycle, so I think if you miss out on your cycle, you'll be able to keep the child instead of aborting because it comes to a whole lot of responsibilities as a woman, too many ones.
Grace, you gave a very clear picture. That's the reality of what is unfolding in urban Liberia. To the extent that the rate of death, the rate of death, or the death rate amongst young people, especially young girls, is so high. You couldn't have painted such a reality as it exists today. But what pieces of advice? How you think this can be stopped or minimized? Because to eradicate it or bring it to complete stop is hard, but it can be minimized.
Mhm.
What are the things that you think you can put forward to them?
Oh, okay. The fact there is, I recommended the last time that I've been recommending since I entered the human rights space and advocacy space. Of course, people will not listen, and we've been following and making sure that these people and these things are preached. I recommended that tradition. I was sending a product moved to our classroom. Like for Nigeria, when I was there, the 4 years I spent in Nigeria, what we call kindergarten year there, they teach their children, they call them manners. What we call saver here, that's how they teach them. When how to greet. That's why you see normally in the Nigerian movies, if a young girl see an older person, she normally bend a little bit and they respect their older people because they are taught down the line to respect. And the thing why we say in Liberia, don't beat the child, the African child, right? It's not in Nigeria. The people discipline their children in school and out of school if you go to school late. So they teach their children when to start having sex. That's why you see no more Igbo girls, okay? They will wait to get married before they have babies. All over in Nigeria, that's how it's done. Maybe not now because the Western world creeping, things will start changing. But in Nigeria, you have to be in your husband's house. Then you get pregnant. Then when you get pregnant, you don't see Nigerian women fighting to tie their stomach because that breath you have given become a symbol of
What
authority of motherhood.
what is dying stomach?
Normally in Nigeria, we want to maintain our flat stomach, but they are their own, they are their symbol. If they give birth, that symbol of authority is their stomach. So you don't fight to tie your stomach because if you enter the circles where women are having meetings, you will be able to talk because you have put to bed in your
And
husband's house.
does it have any side effect when the stomach is tight?
No, for us, I don't. I just say in the perpetual
Yeah. Okay.
tradition,
All right.
but in Liberia, yeah, our tradition is kept in the bush. So we don't know the value of what our mothers will say. Okay, Grace, don't have babies until you are married. There's something I'm saying. We know the important. But if they are teaching us in school that if you get married before you have babies, it will help you to be able to run your family. Look at let's just forget about abortion in same country. Look at the fact around us. All our young girls and boys now, two to the children, now my baby Maya, now my baby Paya, now my daughter
Mm-hmm.
Mao, now my
Mm-hmm.
son Ma. This is becoming a culture in our system that we accepting.
And to
And
other man.
yeah, and that's the cause of most divorce in our country. Because if you enter the marriage cycle and see all these things, Amira, and your husband bringing 3 to 4 children on you, you two bringing 3 to 4, do you think that marriage would last? It will not last. You will have that first few different people will be creeping in our marriage and will not survive. That's why the cases of divorce, just do your research, is very hard today. So what we should be teaching our children now, the recommendation, not the public health bill. The public health bill, now I'll just take it from there because the old public health bill also talk about abortion can be done for your left and right. So no need for this, but we don't need a public health bill right now. What we need is the fact that the education bill be put, that they be teaching tradition from the early age in our school. Maybe they can remove the female genital mutilation from there, but all our senior and polo should be brought to the classroom. Then our girls will know that they should keep themselves until they are married. Then you will see abortion will start limiting. People will not want to have random sex. You know, you're not marrying me. What have you found out with you for? Why going to cross of go smoke shisha and drinking alcohol with you and you spoil me the tanker, you go your way. These are things we should be teaching our society. Like people can go and have fun time, but maybe you should sleep with the person. That's just my point of view. Tradition should move to the classroom.
Yes, sir. Education is the key because when people are educated, they know what to do. It's just like what there's this line they have in the Bible said, train up the child in a way that when he grows will not depart from it. Yeah. Okay. So very sensitive issue. Today is Friday. We'll look at that issue in depth. But w- w- you got the president off. Grace is up to the UN General Assembly. He left yesterday.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay, the fact that the president left, and this morning we're going to be looking at it. But I want us to look at what the UN General Assembly stands for and what the head of state will be doing. And that's why I put it back to you for us to
So,
look at.
yeah,
Let me,
it is the tradition that
yeah,
every year they put forth the agenda from the country perspective and national or international, rather.
yeah. But this year, General Assembly, we have 193 member states. It's attending, and our expectation is high, very, very high, because there are a lot of things happening right now that we need to look at when it comes to the inline of the earthquake around the world, earthquake that are taking places. Uh, and we know recently Morocco cooperate
Libya.
and Libya too as well, and people die massively. And we don't want that to be something that will be occurring nationally in all over in Liberia. We also cooperate to it. So I don't know what the uh, the body will be discussing,
But
and
you can tell, Grace, you are saying it that that is one of the key issues on the agenda, and you expect that every leader who will take the podium will address that, and you expect that President Weah will talk about it and propose solution because that's the topical international issue right now. Morocco, Libya. Yes, you're right. You're right.
and the fact that this whole thing it's not only limited to one country. All of us will be affected. Like Morocco is affected, we are affected. And I want to read a part of it. It said the UN membership has grown from the original 51 member states in 1945 to the current 103 member states. All UN member states are members of the General Assembly. Okay, so all of them are decision makers. So they'll be looking at politics and how we can maintain our peace. The fact that you see coup happening all around. It raises serious alarm. And most of the country, like Mali, Burkina Faso, all those countries under this coup are part of the General Assembly. So now that they don't have a democratic seated president, become a question. So we want to see by the 19th if this country political leaders or their army leaders or their coup leader, or let's put it that way, as to be corrected, we have to go for this general gathering. If that's the case, will they be allowed? Because politically, if a member state is attending, the president has to be a
But
democratic
a coup,
seated president.
they gathering not for undemocratic or cool leader. So they are out and blame, but they can be represented. Their voices can be heard through a proxy.
If we saying that it's not like that, then it becomes issues of concern. Because if
But
we
they are not
want peace,
democratic, like you rightly said. They are not. They overthrow is illegal. It's undemocratic. So the cool leaders' voice can be heard, or they cannot get in for that discussion. It's for legitimate or constitutional government and heads of state.
but I want us to look at their team. Their team says with the rebuilding trust and regenerating global solidarity, accelerating actions on the 2030 age, the agenda, the SDGs, and its sustainable development goal towards peace, prosperity, progress, and sustainability of all head of states and government and ministers to explore solution to to what they will be discussing there. So if you're talking about peace, prosperity, and sustaining the SDGs, you will have to accept these people because Tamara, let's look at it. These people own they own constitutionally hijack power. Okay? And they live that the less reason why they have to do it. And some of this reason are understandable. Let's take for Eastern Gabon. Your father stayed there for all that years. You and I were talking about in 1964 to 2003. You came, you did your first term,
He
your
still
second
want to
term.
be there.
Then you undo the constitution to go for third term.
As if to say it's your father's
Because
property.
your father live there, you too want live there. That's some of the things that we're talking about. The people came and took you from there. So what I think the General Assembly should do, invite them, they come to the war stage and tell the people what they did, what they did. And maybe from there they can negotiate how they can go to election. And all these things will go away. Because every day we wake up in fear, knowing that your neighbor house is on fire. If ECOWAS just get out today and go to war with Niger or Gabon, Gabon will attack ECOWAS countries. Niger will. And Putin is at their back. In that rumors, China is behind it. We all will be wiped out because these people have cuckoo materials and weapons to fight out. You and I will get peace. So it becomes a call for alarm. So I think if I was having the opportunity to talk to the head of the General Assembly,
But you are speaking to them now because you
this
speak
radio will
to
not reach them, but and I hope
no,
our
their
leaders are
voices.
yeah, our leaders could know that President we are I don't know, but I want us to also look at what we think President Weah will be presented today too as well. So that's my own take on the whole thing.
But you know for a fact that you will talk about the two countries got affected apart from what he will be saying from Liberia's perspective. Um, let us try to preempt some of the things. We've got few days to go to the election. Know that he will talk about the election in Liberia, the October 10th. He will talk about it when the last time he was at the UN General Assembly. He did talk about the elections 2023, and he promised that it will be free, fair, transparent. We've got 25 days to go. The mechanism is in place, and you expect him to report to the UN because the UN General Assembly is all about reporting. It's all about you come and say uh, the head of Grace, the president of the UN General Assembly, and Samira is reporting, and she comes. This is what is happening in Liberia. You talk about it. You talk about some regional and international issues. So, no doubt, we're going to hear him talking about that, and he would talk about the earthquake in Libya, in Morocco, the
Morocco.
flood in Libya, and he would re-emphasize climate change is very
Yeah,
significant,
yeah, yeah.
you know, and other issues. Know that he would mention some of those things.
And in fact that we have a crucial election. And these are the things I get problem with the US embassy sometimes, but they are one of our state partners that make sure that Liberia is on the road path. But I think what we should be pushing right now is peace instead of talking about sanction and all these things. Sanction. If you like, you sanction all the country around the world. Sanction is ain't changing anything. You ain't changing the African leaders' mindset. You're not changing the coup.
And changing anybody to
Ain't
vote,
changing
anybody.
anybody
If you
to vote
sanction
anybody.
them, then you get run for any office in
So
Liberia
what the
for
American government should be saying right now is how to work with President Weah to have a free, fair, and transparent
transparent
election.
election.
Knowing the fact that Liberia is stuck
Oh,
right now,
you mean those
the vision
officials
statement.
who are on sanction list?
No. The American government recently sanctioned came out with a statement that if any fire is played like they in Sierra Leone in the Liberia election, government official will be sanctioned. So I'm recommending that that's a good thing. But instead of us waiting for the problem to occur, why can't we find solution to those problems before it happens? It's very simple. Find solution before it happens. Now Sierra Leone what has happened. You put sanction. You think Sierra Leone get on or the leadership
No,
get
but
on?
the sanction can have impact.
It will have impact on the people. St. Andrews, you and I will have to feel it. We will be the one to suffer. But the man that have his money in leadership collecting taxes from the people, living by the people, you think that sanction will affect him? Okay, don't come to US. Fine. I will not come to and send my children to buy. I'll go to Dubai. I'll go to the Caribbean. I'll go to other countries. Then the common people, you stop importation of certain goods, the common people that are consuming that goods suffer. So I'm telling the American government, Liberia has not even had money to pay for a second round, if there will be, to conduct that second round election. Liberia is
There will
funding,
be.
Liberia is funding her election alone.
So apart from Liberia not having money to conduct a second round, that is left to the National Elections Commission,
I've
but
been
you're
saying it
entitled to
every
your
day.
opinion. But what the government needs, or the US embassy or any government that want to impose sanction, what they ought to do other than what you've explained. I agree with you. That's a fact. Even those who are overtrained, they impose sanction, but it doesn't affect the leaders. It affects the people. You are 100% right. You couldn't have put it any better. So, what other mechanism or other measures you think they can institute to make sure that you don't have election irregularity or people tampering with elections and or coup
Even the
or
American election, because the King Session herself now has been marked with irregularities in foul play. A lot of time from what they may name,
Barack
Trump,
Obama to Trump.
Barack Obama, and even with the party, there are still speculation. So if you tell me that election will just be 100% from all people, you know that Kennedy will not be satisfied. That's not what we need right now. What we need, what the American people did for Eddie, now what they should do for Josh Weah. And that what they should do for Joseph Parker if he wins. That what they should do for Alexander Cummings if he wins. They see where they work with Ellie, making sure that all elections were conducted, fundings were available, that observers were posted, that tally sheets were collected, results were announced, security were on ground. These are things we expect because
But
Liberia,
you have all those things happening.
no, my brother, we don't. I stand to be corrected. 3 days ago, the ECOWAS, the chief of elders came to Liberia. And there's a research that was done the few days by one other company, I'm just forgetting the name, with the National Election Commission, and the Vieta Lasana plan make it clear that funding has not been provided in some certain place. So to carry on voters' education and some other things still stand as challenge because Liberia is funding her election alone. And collecting revenue is a serious challenge. The fiscal budget was just passed.
The United States gave 20 plus million as part of the 100 countries having elected 2020.
Fine. But then the Liberia government said it was funding an election alone. So I don't know if you have that
They raised a
information.
budget, they put forth a budget of 50 million. And I think they got 43 or 44 or 49 of that.
Okay, Sam Andrews, I want us to look at this. Coming. Let's just be going through. There's a document I want us to look at from what I'm saying. I mean, I like to back up my statement sometimes because if you don't give the public what they need, you become
So
irrelevant.
why
Yeah.
Grace is getting that, Sammy? So what other measures? It is true. You can have. We've talked this before, and I'm one person who is not in favor of just sanction, sanction. This is why most people will refer to the African Union and ECOWAS as toothless bulldog. Whenever a coup takes place, the only language you hear and understand well, imposition of sanction. And from the very first day coup have been taking place in these African countries, you have never ever had a given or a democratic leader going back. The coup leader and his people always
This,
reign.
that's just how it is, and it's something that we should all be able to talk to the ECOWAS to be able to manage the countries that they have under them, because we all we need peace. When some of these things, when it's happening to our neighboring countries, we ourselves we have to be warned about it too, because it's not something that's good for ECOWAS. And my point there is, if ECOWAS is not even handling their own issues in the house, then how are they going to do it? Because they have to learn how to put people under control before within ECOWAS. They have to learn how to do it there before going to other countries and start to talk. But if the house of ECOWAS is split,
That
because
simply
just
put, you are simply saying that they should not wait until a crisis occur or when there is a coup before.
yeah,
That they should look at bad governance, misrule,
Exactly. They should look at some of these things and stop taking care of it because at times you see things from far. For example, if just for example, right, you have 2029 comes then President Weah, he's saying that he wants to go back to run for presidency. It's not in the constitution like that. If you are hearing that, or seeing that, be able to handle that before the election dates or before it starts or to go out there and seems different because not everybody within the country will agree to that because they will be like, why does man want to go third terms? He feel that this is his father's property or what? They should try and handle some of these things before time, before the issue get worse. Because when it gets worse, now it goes out of hand. And even few months back, we were hearing rumors that even in the House of ECOWAS is not straightened that people having issues with each other. Even the members who are supposed to make decisions for these countries, these high officials, they weren't together in the house. They had some issues going on. So they should just be able to govern themselves so that we afford some of these things.
And I already have the document. It said that that's a new script. I did the script. So there's a part of it I would like to read. It said, warnings during election remain important in order to host a free, fair, and transparent election. As Liberia geared towards the October election, the attention of some international partners has been drawn to the concern that the recent statement of Commissioner Henrietta Brown Lazana of insufficient budget for a possible run election in the upcoming presidential and general election scheduled for October 10, 2023. This is the amount she was presented with. The shortfall resulted from the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning providing only 3 million, less than NEC required budget. Okay? And NEC saying that for them to go for a rerun, you need $3.2 million. They're not even getting half of that budget.
You mean this 3 million was the initial
Now what NEC
start
gave
up.
them, yes. Now what NEC gave them for the startup of the election. So my concern, they will make the other money available if the election finish. They have to pay people all the things. There are a lot of things. But my point,
But they got a considerable amount of that number because they made a projection or they submitted a budget of 50 million, I think, and
only 3
this.
million is provided right now. That's the findings. Do your
But
research.
3 million can
Is
take them to where they are presently.
now what they saying they got.
They they got. I think they needed the balance of 3 million because they said that the government provided 48 million or more, and then you have the U.S. government promise 165
So
million
let me do
to
that.
countries
Then
going
we
to
need to do that
elections.
research for clarity. But what we gather from this, the historical side from which Africa carried history, what of Liberia carried history, but we need to do our research and come up with what you're saying if it's accurate. So let's see if we can get
But
that.
the political affairs officer, Ignatius Wisa,
He made it. He said it.
was here,
Okay,
and
then they
he
need to.
confirmed that I think the remaining dollars they need from the government now is 3 million. So I want to believe that's why you reference because they submitted a budget of 50. So that means the government gave 48 million.
Okay, fine. I
48.
don't want us to like deviate from what we're discussing, but
So I think that
the fact
no,
remains
you are right. I think that 3 million is needed also.
for the rerun. If the money is not available, they cannot do the rerun. So my own point is
Yeah,
why
and
I have to do
he said
this.
it. So he wants the money. He wants because he talked about early preparation too. You're right.
If
He
you
talked
don't
about
have
early
this money
preparation.
now, the American government are not looking at this. ECOWAS is, but American government not looking at this. All they care for that fraud will happen, problem will happen, and tension will come. So I'm begging them. If they want peace, they want Liberia to stay, work with the Liberian government, work with the Ministry of Finance, all those people that need to make this money available, that these things be available, that the election will be free, fair, and transparent. I ain't got time for how NDC run. What I want is our country should be safe. We ain't got time for when in America we session, we've been on a session for a lot of times. But what important is our children to go to school. We want peace. If Bakas wins, if Cummings wins, he has. If Josh Bia wins, that's just what we want. Whoever wins should be given, and the funding should be available. And we be free, fair, and transparent. That's all.
Okay, you couldn't have put it any better. Great. So let's turn to you now. and have your say on any one of our talking points on the first segment, and then we move to the second. The second, these two ladies will close it on a social level. Today is Friday. What do people say? TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. 0770-907-907, did not want to have your say on the show. Good morning, Liberia, on Voice of Liberia 104.1 Monrovia, Voice of Liberia 89.7 Kakatama Gibi County, and you can log on to our online radio www.voiceofliberiaonlineradio.com, and you'll follow the conversation. Facebook is www.voiceofliberiaonline.com. 0770 907 Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Andrew,
Good morning.
and good morning to your panelists in the studio. I like the way you people analyze the issue, and there he has a call from the institute. I like the way you people analyze the issue this morning. But I listened to one of your panelists talking saying that it's not really American to get the settling government, the superior government, the scene. I think that's the reality. But don't forget that Liberia is a sovereign state. I think the people will always help during every electoral process. We help with setting amount, then we pay the balance to help fund our election. So we shouldn't sit there and allow the Americans to pay all the funding when it comes to our electoral processes. Lastly, Mr. Andrew, on the issue of ECOWAS, I think in the people should not be overthrowing in Africa. I think we the African, we the black, we think ahead. Let us use the democratic processes to elect our leader in Africa instead of overthrowing in Africa. I think we must have a plan where they go together and decide where is best for Africa or Africa state. I think that would be the best thing they will do. Thank you this morning for your platform, Mr. Andrew.
Have a nice morning. 0770 Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, hey, Mustafa family. I'm calling you from Sancero Social Atlantic and Intellectual Center at McDonald Street. Hello?
Yeah, we're listening to you.
Yeah, I want to lay emphasis on the topic of the abortion, having abortion. Naturally, having an abortion is a sin. For the first place, going to the biblical way, even having sex out of wedlock is a sin also. But after you having sex and you got pregnant, why should you say that you want to have an abortion? Before I came back home from Nigeria, I've gone to some other countries, African countries. Although we got people there, maybe they born out of hard luck or so, but in Liberia, yes, just too rampant, going different places, my son power, my daughter power, my this power, my that power. But that's not the topic we're discussing now. Maybe in the future topic later, maybe we'll talk about that. But the sex one, even in the Bible, in Genesis chapter 8, verse 9 to 11, Onan have sex with his brother's widow, Tamar. Instead of him ejaculating in the lady, he ejaculated on the floor. Just because of that, God killed him. Even the sperm says you bringing out, even masturbation sex is sin. Because it's sperm you bringing out everything is a human being also. So when you do that thing, God can be very annoyed with those things. Because most of the children now today, if you aborted most children now, most of the people that are supposed to become president, they will never be president. So abortion is a sin totally, morally, religiously, and otherwise.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for calling. Have a nice morning. 0770 Those of you who log in by way of Facebook, Kelvin Doe said, "Good morning, Voice of Liberia. I am following from Caldwell." John Bosco, good morning. I am watching from Kisumu, Kenya. Boyman Williams, Samira, good to see you too on the show. Career Alternative Reform Empowerment says, good morning, guys. Following from Banjo Beach, Virginia, and Moserado County. V. Mohammed Sharif said, good morning, Voice of Liberia. I am watching from South Beach. 0770 907 0880 907 907. Good morning. Good morning. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907 to have your say on any one of the talking points on the show this morning. It's Friday. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Johnson.
Good
Mr. Andrew,
morning. Good morning, sir.
I'm Roland Johnson calling from Twitch Island. Thank you for the show on your panel. My advice on the election commission. The election will be 2 rounds if you keep money for 2nd round. Thank you.
Why would it be 2 rounds?
Because the first round, they are 20 candidates. It cannot be 50%. I disagree.
But everybody is saying 1 round.
Okay.
So
They cannot be 1 round. It's impossible. It's impossible. It will be peace and fair election, but it cannot be 1 round. I disagree. Thank you. Have a
which party do you support? 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. Good morning.
Good morning, Sam Andrew, and good morning to your co-panelists.
Good morning.
Good
Yeah,
morning.
yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, this is Sherman. I call you from a Peaceville Bell to be Pacific Red Light.
Where do you go
Yeah, thank
from
you
the
very
talking
much for the
points?
topic on the discussions. My attention has been drawn to the issue of NEC and the many insinuation that there's no possibility of an individual candidate or one party coming victorious in the first round. The framework of the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia did not make mistakes. They were not in error. The possibility do exist. That is why it's a 50 plus 1. Who's taking into variables that are impossible. So nobody should say, oh, it's impossible. It's not impossible. The possibility do exist. That is why the framework put it there. They were not in or wrong. They placed it there. And secondly, my own advice to all of us as Liberians. Liberia is greater than all of us. Let us hold our peace and see how best this election can come and go. We will go, but Liberia will still remain. Chancellor was here, where is Chancellor today? Ellen came, Ellen has gone. We are here, let us hold our peace, we are go. But Liberia, we should concentrate our attention, all of us, to see how best we will live in peace and harmony in our country.
Okay,
Politics
sir.
should not devour us.
Thank you so
We have an
much.
issue presenting.
Good morning.
Present your issue.
Good morning.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
You are on the air. Speak. You are on the air.
Yeah, my name is Regional Living. I call from Cardwell, respectively.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, I support the climatic coalition, democratic change.
You support CDC. That's
Yes,
all.
CDC.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. That's all you got to say. Good morning.
Good morning, people. Andrew. Good morning to the co-host. Let me say happy weekend to the both of you. Use the time to congratulate the female general who updated us from happening in Bon County when they were there. Let me appreciate the effort that she brought what happened in Bon County to Liberian people, especially telling them how to be decent, especially to our female, the piece of advice that she gave. I think it makes sense. It's commendable. Now to the issue, the issue of our country, like the answer, the other caller said, our position is clear. It's possible that everyone of us look in that one direction. It depends the number of persons that will vote for Mr. X. So if we decide to vote for President we are and he wins, that's 3+1, there's no doubt. That's the election. So nobody should be somewhere and pre-calculate what they know they don't have it. We don't want people to start insinuating what they not evidence of what they not want everybody have who vote, you don't know the voters' direction. So no need to start raising fear that it can happen. It can happen. It can be 100% can be in the race.
You can decide to favor two persons and the two persons will compete and one person win.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Morning.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Andrew. And let me say good morning to my sister Grace, who was not in studio yesterday based on the presidential, based on our tour in the central part of Liberia. Let me say good morning to Samura, who was not very well yesterday. I hope Samura, you are strong and back, to push our agenda or the country agenda. For the public believers, German Radio, and I join you from a capital shop this morning to be precise, district 13 to village. Let me say thanks to you for the topic of discussion. You see, the issue of or health bill that Grace was like talking about. For me, I support Grace 1 million percent or 1 million times for that dead and demolished bill that they're trying to put up. Because you know what it takes? Children these days, they charge a big 8 years, 10 years, they try to put themselves into their business. Then they should be going to school at the age of 7, 8, 9 to 12. Then what will happen? At that age, what will happen? They will be teaching them their business very early. So what will happen? We all have fought the issue of drugs in this country. We can't get over it. Then they want to pay another thing over us. We can't agree to that. And to the issue of net, we begging net. The money that the government made available, you have to be managing that money to see how best to run our election, to carry our election on free, and there will be nothing like, the other one not there.
Okay, Chief. Thank you so much. Good morning. Good morning. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907 to have your say on any one of the pointers this morning on Good Morning Liberia, on Voice of Liberia 104.1, Morovia, Voice of Liberia, Magibi County 89.7. Good morning.
Good morning, President Andrew.
Good morning, sir.
And let me say good morning to the two beautiful ladies in studio plus the minute for your broadcast this morning. The ladies are Eric Wilson Rowe, also working here for the second operation of Maryland County. And I join your platform this morning from District 30 at my business for politician and businessman. Then Andrew, let me appreciate you this morning. But I will agree on one hand with the ladies in studio and disagree with them on another hand. The first one, I strongly agree with them on the issue of the abortion stuff. I think I in agreement. More especially one of the ladies is very sure she proposed. I think Grace said, 100% agree. 100% agree with her. Yeah, 100% agree what she's going. So I give it all to her. But on the issue of our election, you see, that say I don't know how Eastern Americans speak in this country will always like to go against them. There is no way you can take Liberia for America. America has been our ally, the strong ally to Liberia. So Liberia being a sovereign country, America they can't put our people when they say you do this or do that. No, all they sit and watch. They give that people about. People talk about cancer. People have election in a better time for the people for us to be here because for the people is not truthful, is what is surface. And this is not unique to the government. Even opposition after election result, everybody will be sanctioned. They said will be sanctioned. I don't think that we should get for sanction thing. For the opportunity.
Thank you so much for calling. Have a nice weekend. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Mr. Andrew. How are you?
I'm doing fine. And you?
Yeah, thank you. This is the people's governor. The most talk about history with 10 governor. I'm surprised and I joined from my comfort district in the Oro. Members of the point and defense. Let me say good to you this morning for taking up your time, to explain some of them, a lot of your comments. Election will come and go. For some of us, we don't have ourselves because we got this clean. We support national government. Whether you support your side, I support my side. There's a need for us to be together in the unity that we had before. We should still be because everyone will not go the other way around. So it is our prayer that some of our brothers then we take the thing so personal because there is no influence here surrounding the issue. Come 2023 president, I will still be re-elected with the word 10. So let's be together, let's be fine. And once, hello?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
you're
are
on.
listening, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Andrew, there's something important I want to say to the media, Yeah, for me, I pray that the media will be uh, good, and continue to do the good work that they have started before from day one, because we know some radio station, with the issue of when election is coming, they have a whole lot of messages to bring division. So it's our prayer that the media, some media institution will continue to preach the peace of this nation, because like for some of you, you guys continue to do your best, and continue to conscience our people to live in the confines of the law and be peaceful as you dare towards the election. But other media institutions are not giving the kind of messages to the people. So it is our prayer that if this election will be peaceful and everyone will govern themselves, it will come from the media, because you notice that when you're on the stick, when your people believe in the media 100% nowadays, more than any other thing. So it's our prayer that media too will continue to concentrate the people and will continue to live in the confines of the law. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much for calling. Have a nice weekend. 0770 Good morning. Good morning. 0770 You're listening to Good Morning Liberia on Voice of Liberia 104.1 Monrovia and Voice of Liberia 89.7 Kakata, Magibi County. And this is Sam Andrews, Grace Joshua Williams, and Samira Waller this morning, weekend. Okay, thank you ever so much for spicing the first segment of the show. So we move to this next segment, which is very, very important, very important. And this is how we get started. Have a listen.
We're not even limiting ourselves to that 30% because we deserve more. But how can we fight when we are not there? Because power comes with authority. If I want to speak of inclusion, Priscilla is not in the house. I'm not in the house. How do we say our plans will be executed by those people? So it's about collectivism, because you have 73 legislators, and if you have 5 person that pushing this, and you have the remaining people saying they aren't supporting it, what do you do? It's a problem. And that's why we are pushing for more women to enter the house to work along with the men. Because there are some good men in the house that feels that with women by their side, a lot of things will be done. And if you want to prioritize your objectives, the women objectives too must be prioritized. So it can be handled individually. We are advocating for it. We are pushing that it becomes more, because Sierra Leone now they are pushing harder, but they haven't even been passed, but they have lots of women in the House of Parliament. In Liberia, we still to the back. Now, 2017, you have only one female representative board of Monserrado County, that is District 4. So what are we doing? So with these messages, with this inclusiveness, we ensure that other young women join us to advocate for more space for women to ensure that the 30% be increased, so there should be increment.
All right. That's Woki Dolo on the 30% women's representation of the affirmative bill that they want women to spread their tentacles everywhere that they've been dominated by the male over the time, and they have fought, they still fighting, and they will continue to fight for the 30% representation. Already, you got several women in various spheres of life, various areas of the country's governance, and also you got 100 plus women contesting the elections. So it's very good. Women's representation is key, it's welcoming. It ought to be that way, but it's not going to be on a silver platter, and it can be on a silver platter. They have always pushed for this, and you need to have woman in a significant area, but it wouldn't just get there, or it wouldn't just happen as you think it ought to happen. You have to. to fight for it. You have to fight. And one of those who is contesting, one of those who is contesting is Priscilla Cooper. She is, as much as she appreciates the 30% women affirmative bill that she wants to see many women in several areas of governance, but her argument is that they shouldn't be at the mercy of men, that the men shouldn't be the one to create the space for them. They should drop this argument of not being given the space by men, they're being marginalized by men. Our argument is that women, if they want to ascend to whatever the position, they should be more proactive. They should exert themselves and not to just be putting it at the feet of the men that they're not giving a space, the men they have been marginalized. She feels that if the women in Liberia can exert themselves as they have done in other areas, they can compete evenly with the men.
My district, we have 4 women contesting, but it seems like I'm the only one. They come at me with all kinds of insult. You are angry with the wrong person. I've not had the opportunity to leave. What I'm trying to do is to fix it. Or you come at me with insult. First and foremost, they will always talk about marriage. Oh, she's not married. She just that woman. Oh, married people are serious minded people. And I tell them I will quickly take an unmarried woman who's qualified to represent me and a married man who's equally qualified because the male gender, before you even take a deep breath, they will have 10 girlfriends, even though the person's married. But it's unlikely that you see a female having 2, 3 boyfriends, especially when she's entrusted. Look, whatever actions you take, you should be held accountable. People are not penalized. We see people go on radio and just insult anybody or just level some allegation against you, and nothing's being done. Whichever action again, I would say you take, be held accountable. And so if people were taken to court, be prosecuted because of false allegation. People would resist. When you get on the radio, you say whatever you want to say, and then you walk free. That's the problem. Especially us female. It's I mean, it's an everyday thing. Accuse you falsely without getting to know you for I know you who you are.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, we get that. It is the one that she feels offended that as she's being bullied. They, not she alone, but she they as women being bullied. Those who are contesting, people say a lot about them, against them. But I will get to that. She is complaining that, or not complaining, but she made her position very clear. She just agreed with her colleague Woki Dolo. Woki argument is more women should be given the space and a lot more. Priscilla comes to join the argument, differing with Woki Dolo that it shouldn't be, that women shouldn't be at the mercy of men. Women shouldn't be rhetorical. That is, oh, the men are giving us space, the men are marginalized. Our argument is the women must exert themselves. Once they have the qualification, they have the ability, they have the full sight, they have the preview of what they want to do, how they want to get there, they have everything available to them, they can exert themselves and they will get the position. Now, you ladies, you agree with her or disagree? Let's start with you, something.
Let's
Priscilla is right that women exert themselves instead of being at the mercy of men, as Woki Dolo plays it.
let's start with Grace. Okay, I always get your back, dear. I always got your back. But I would like to agree with Woki. I would like to agree with Woki because Woki Dolo is a very, very intelligent person who has fight her way to the top. And she don't mind who insult her, who call her names. And why she said that men should create the opportunity is this. From the gender perspective or the gender landscape, if you are in a gender landscape, you understand that the society
The equitable distribution of resources to both gender or to all gender, that is male, female, trans, or whatsoever gender you are, comes with the funny responsibility of the huge influence of masculinity in our society. Most of the decisions that are taken in our society are taken by the masculine gender. And society has placed masculine at the front of the femininity. Why would I put it this way? The male gender, let me put it in this terms, male or men, from the day the world was organized from our religious background, our traditional background, whatsoever background we are from, men take the lead. We expect men to lead. Men are in quote unquote top positions when it comes to decision making. They stay at the top because of their physical appearance, their physical morphology, and all these things. But what we've forgotten to know is that most of those top decisions that men take, our grandfather usually says, when you go to a town to request, maybe you want to marry a girl or you want to buy or land, you care about development, the old man in that town, the client chief will tell you, okay, Grace, you want to do this thing, no problem. Let me sleep over this. When I sleep over it, I will give you answer tomorrow. The reason he's going to sleep over it is because he want to discuss with his wife. He's not going to sleep over it to chance. He's going to sleep over it because he want to discuss that with his wife. And secondly, we don't listen to our women on the Palava hut. They don't talk there. But all of the decisions that are taken on the Palava hut are highly influenced sometimes by women. Imagine we sit at the back, then sometimes we finish giving the people ideas. They will come out and say, oh, yes, that man is a sound man. That man, that he worth making that decision for. Any successful man you see, there's a woman, either his mother, his girlfriend, his wife, speaking in his ear at night. So now coming back to Wookie analysis, men will have to create a pathway for women. Ain't mean we weak. Ain't mean we know what we're doing. But what is important is that we want to make sure that men create the atmosphere for women by advocating, pushing that agenda, creating a space. You don't leave the space filled when you say you want it to be occupied by women. Let's come to equal distribution of resources. One, if we make fine here today, all the money will be given to the man will decide what to do with the money. The woman will not decide. You will later on come and be okay, this is the money, but I think you want to go buy pound one. But if that woman have access to that money, she can tell you, I'm taking this one to run my campaign. Working daughter is in the race right now. Do you know the challenges she's faced with as a female who is single, trying to make sure she raises money for her campaign? She's not on any political party because they feel you don't have the faith. Even if I just want to invent or I want to go into politics, they will tell me to go to the youth wing, the woman wing. But you will never see the men wing in any political party. Show me the men wing in political party, let me know. The men wing always comprises of the both male and female, but you have the women league. These are the marginalization we're talking about in society. Working together is speaking from the point that you create that atmosphere. Political parties create the atmosphere. Let women be included. Let we go to primary and see if we're not vote, if we are supported as per the resources. You gave me money. You gave more money to run a campaign. You said, that will succeed. Why don't you think that that woman will succeed? She can succeed if she's given an opportunity. So these are the barrier Woki is pointing out. Men have occupied those positions, not looking back. That's why I like the feminists in chief. They say sometimes I'm a sedition journalist. You don't even know deep down who I supporting. George, we are supporting in everything you do. You saw recently when you went to Bon County. Whether they like it or not like it, it's me announcing. Like he not even discuss with the party. CDC this current election, even the district we wanted to we going on the local road, the Panther district. The woman going for that district, she didn't go for no primary. All those women select on CDC ticket. There was no primary to conduct it for them. No, 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 no primary. You go ahead and take it. Not district for that woman. That's the same thing with you. Whether you're lucky or not lucky, 2029, I'm a Kennedy. You finish announcing it. So this is the opportunity we keep talking about. But if the person get to want a chance to go for primary, meaning that any slowly in a race. Okay, let's just say Mama Malu get in a race. Who you think will support Joa as candidate? It would not be possible. So Woki is saying that men should create the resources, create the space,
So
and
if
give
the
women
hiring,
opportunity.
if the men are not doing it, isn't it on to the woman to exert? Doesn't she have the ability? Can she fight? Or she can fight?
She can fight, but I think we will put this discussion in the middle because we have a guest that's supposed to be with us shortly. So we're expecting the guest anytime. But the fact that you fighting, if you don't have Sam Andrew, that just put it in this instant. Sam Andrew is the okay. Sam Andrew is the radio director for Voice of Liberia. If Sam Andrew do not, yes, I think the guest is here already. If Sam Andrew do not give Grace's chance or Samira chance or Mafida chance, it will not be possible to have them on the radio. You understand? Because if you see the competency, you see the fact that they can do this, it will not be possible. If Sam Andrew see that and give them the opportunity, then Grace come up and Grace mess up, then that is left with Grace, Mr. Andrews. But if Sam Andrew give Grace the opportunity, Grace make him proud, the princess already fall back to Sam Andrew. You know why people respect Josh Ria? Because he's so in promote women. In the like of Kumis promoting women. All these political parties that talk of female as a running mate, I'm so proud of them. I'm proud of them because I know what it took to allow those political parties to give them the privilege to take those females.
Okay. So very shortly, going to be a fascinating discussion. You don't want to miss it. You're listening to Good Morning Liberia on Voice of Liberia 104.1 Rubia and Voice of Liberia 89.7 Takata Magibi County, Voice of Liberia Bong, Voice of Liberia Lupa. And you can also follow us on the our online radio www.voiceofliberiaradio.com, Facebook www.voiceofliberiaonline.com. Very shortly, that discussion will take place, and the team this morning: Sam Andrews, Chris, William Joshua, and Samira Waller. Very shortly, the discussion will take place. The get sorry, he's putting bits and pieces together so that the discussion can start as quickly as we can.
Okay, check the fact that
Okay.
this morning we discussing that. I want us to know that women can do their best, Sam Andrew. Women can push.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, you people are very energetic,
yeah,
very creative.
yeah. So Boki was not making a
Yeah.
mistake. I'm so proud of her, you know. She breaking the storm in that issue. I'm not telling you who I'm supporting, but Woki is one of the person that she's touching every community in that district. She's a decent woman and she's elected tomorrow. I'm sure district 6 will be well represented.
And another thing she talked about Grace that she's uncomfortable with, that people go into her privacy or social media account, take up photographs and using it against her. So she wants a legislation on the restriction of social media.
When it comes to online abuses or women abuse, when it comes to the social media, it's something that we all are faced with. They feel that my account was hacked and I have to fight to recover because of my altogether IT background. But the challenges is just way too much for female. And you will be surprised that sometimes they will remove your head and they will remove your body, put another person's body, sexual body for you and say, this is this, this is this. These things tear with me apart. Sometimes they will call you videos. When you open the video, they show you their private part. These are things female can in the face. In the election, they will go and check for all your old boyfriends. But if a male is in a race, or let's say, for example, Abraham Weir is in the race. They ain't get time for who Abraham slept with in the past. No, none of business. But if Grace is contesting, they want to know from Grace Genesis to Leviticus where she been, who she slept with, what she has done. These are things that we just don't want. Okay.
Okay, so you want to, we've got the guests coming up and you have it. You want to announce it, Grace?
Yeah, we have a team from the Girls Change organization this morning. They're here this morning to talk about some issues affecting female within the country. Like you already talk about Woki Dolo into active politics, and this morning we have girls from the organization name is the Girls for Change organization. I think the chief executive director is here this morning to elaborate on some of the general overview of the institution and other things as well. So we will be expecting them shortly.
Okay, that is the discussion that is coming up. You don't want to miss it. This is Good Morning Liberia on Voice of Liberia 89.7 and Voice of Liberia online radio, Voice of Liberia Facebook. So the guests are in, and very shortly the discussion will go, will get underway to gentlemen, to gentlemen. Okay. So, and yeah, she also, so she, if you don't put Grace, if you don't put the kind of photos on or on your page or whatever, what do you think people will access it? Because
Well,
she made specific reference to that. People go in there, take photos, and pull it out using it.
one thing I want you to understand, Andrew, that I keep talking about is my Facebook page. Sometimes it's with this when they're hacked. So if they hack your Facebook page, there's some images you upload that you don't post. They will go into
That,
that and download and start sharing them. Now, what they can do to you?
but isn't a way because when you go, you try to access some other people page, you see they will tell you content cannot be accessed. That means it is locked.
That means they have not hacked your page. But if I log in and same and use your password and log you out, any information, maybe you probably send or sexy video to your ex or somebody, I can download that video and use it against you.
But should people have obscene photos in their phone and not knowing that their decision can change anytime to vie for public office?
Same Andrew, I can decide to share my sexual video with my partner if I love him. If I know that my husband or my boyfriend, I want to be with him. That's my right. That's my private space.
Okay.
I should not be my private space should not be violated or pinched into because of politics. If you pinch it into my own, pinch into St. Andrew own, and pinch into everybody. But that female,
Okay,
don't just focus on female each time. You focus on female, and you don't. Okay, so
we got
let's
the guests. You want to
yeah.
bring them on. That's interesting when we talk that with the passage of time. Let's turn to our guests.
Okay, we have Lawrence here with us this morning. He's the program officer for Girls for Change, and I will also have Abraham Zizi. He's a volunteer. So you guys are highly welcome this morning.
Okay, thank you very much.
And why do you observe Grace? Why do you observe?
Why will you be talking Girls for Change and there's no female?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You're smart.
I was actually expecting this question when I entered because the same, right? The same was kind of saying the girls are here. And I was thinking,
but you said
That's
girls.
what change. And I was excited to take your interview. That was male. I wouldn't have
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
of course.
Okay. I think that also add flavor to the kind of discussion we're going to have here. And I think if we were men, you were not going to take us.
Because you don't bring men to talk woman issue.
Oh,
Let's talk about our
wow.
own issue. There are men for
So,
change, we have a he for she, but at least one of us supposed to be on the same. One, just one.
okay, so yes, so one of us supposed to be on this team. Of course, that's true. But also is added advantage to have men discussing women issue because that's what we need in society. More especially when it comes to gender issue, gender disparities in our country and our society. So I think it's a plus to see men discussing women issue. So I believe as we go through this conversation, we'll get to know why we are here and why you also see this gentleman who's also here as he for she. So I mean, we get to know.
So get started with that now.
Well, my name is Lawrence J. Dosibo, like you said, program manager and MA officer for the Girls for Change organization. And so today we are here to talk about the work we do at Girls for Change and some of the impact that we are making in society based upon the kind of work we do. And also, currently, we are implementing an enough project, an EU sponsored project, and also we are carrying a whole lot of things around that enough project. So that's why we are here today to show to highlight, show light on the work we do, or correlate the biggest work we are doing right now with the enough project. That's why we are here.
Okay, you are EU sponsored, right?
Yeah, we are. The European Union sponsored us to do another project currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the reason I said there's a female supposed to be here, I want to ask this question. You're
Yes.
talking girls for change,
Yes.
and I want to talk small on our measure circle.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Oh yes, I love that.
So
I'm a menstrual ambassador. In fact, I'm a global menstrual ambassador.
okay, let's drop that. Let's go to your project.
Okay.
Okay, because you now want to ask my question, quote unquote, is about the pain women experience in that time, but you were not able to answer that. So let's go to your own project. Tell
Okay.
me.
All right. So, Girls for Change organization is a registered non-governmental institution established in 2015, primarily to promote the rights of women to girls, strive to combat violence against women and girls, advocate to ensure advanced participation, including the empowerment of girls who become pregnant, drop out of school, fall behind academically, usually not return to school and become trapped in a cycle of poverty. So Aggressive Change was established for such purpose. And Aggressive Change, we try our best to be able to leverage our expertise and of our dedicated staff to be able, or volunteers to be able to optimize our perfections and our skills to blend gender sensitive lens through programs and activities that will ensure that gender issues are eliminated in our communities, in our society. And it also ensures that girls who are marginalized and girls who are victims of sexual exploitation, victims of gender-based violence are also created space and given the space to be able to achieve their education, also their dreams as person or as citizen living in Liberia. So that is just about grace of change. And over time, we got a series of programs running, ranging from their health, gender health, gender justice, um, and we also have women empowerment program running, and we also have the early childhood development program also running up. And we also have, yes, of course, we have a scholarship program that we run. That we run. Yes, so those are activities that we are actually involved with at Gears for Change. So, in my exposition right now, I talk about various programs for health clubs that we established. So, as it stands, since 2021, 2019 and 21, we have up to nine health clubs that we are established in non-different high schools across two counties, specifically in Montserrat and that of Magibi County, as part of our health clubs, and that's our effort to ensure that we contribute to a healthy lifestyle and also be able to contribute to having a good and healthy school environment. So yeah, so far,
So,
yes.
if I may ask, what's the future of this platform?
Well, the future of this platform is to ensure is to have a society wherein girls have the space to be able to explore and achieve their dreams, their educational dream. Girls also a future where girls are not marginalized, girls are not sexually exploited, and where gender sensitivities is quite important, and where we also have a gender balance in society. That's what we strive for as a gender institution. Also, we also want to ensure that girls who cannot afford to go to school are also given the opportunity to go to school and achieve their dream.
Okay, let's go over to the he for she
So,
over here.
mainly for this he for she, he's as part of our project quite recently, the project. So specifically, we have people who are beneficiary who have gone through trainings. I think I will talk about the project, but
I just
he's
want him to introduce himself and feel comfortable. Then we go
oh
back
yes,
to the project. Is that okay with you?
yes, no problem.
Okay, what's your name and what are you doing here this morning? I know you are Ibrahim, right? But in detail, tell us who you are and why you working with this.
Thank you very much. My name is Ibrahim El Sise, as he said, and I came as a volunteer. I came to share my experience with the activities by the Girls for Change Liberia, those activities that they are taking over, and how we as a people have achieved based on their work. So those are some of the experience that I have, and I want to share with the Liberian people.
Okay, so tell us about the project before he shares his experience.
Oh yes, so we are actually implementing the Enough project, and Enough projects will empower women and girls, boys and men to take positive action in any GBV in Liberia, specifically happening in 5 different communities. For us as Girls for Change, our targeted community for this Enough project geared towards any engaging and empowering communities, men, women, and boys to take positive action against GBV happening across 5 communities in Monserrato and Magibir, respectively. And those 5 communities involve the Omega community in Monserrato Kante. We got the Rahil community where Ibrahim comes from.
Yes.
And then we also have the Town community in Monserrato. And we have Wazon community in Magbi. And of course, we have Habia community. Those are 5 future communities.
And now you're thinking of village or
Oh,
community.
okay, so of course, Tigger Village is our home, and this is where we come from.
Wow.
So yes, specifically, we are actually we have a past project that also engage with women and girls and men also in Tingo Village. We also have gender justice clubs also established there. So, but for this project, we're targeting at those 5 communities I just listed. So yes, so with the project, we got series of activities, and one of the key activities in the project is to be able to mobilize community structures, establish community structures that will commit themselves to taking positive actions to NGBV in their respective communities. So what we started was that we carry on a stakeholder engagement wherein we track and map and track very key stakeholders that ranging from across the CHP, community leadership, youth leadership, women leadership. We have different able people and the key actors and key stakeholders existing in the community. We engage them and explain the story, the project to them, and they embrace the project. And we went through a dialogue with them, and then we also carry on a capacity building training for those selected community leaders, 10 community leaders from each community, which April is one of them. And then we teach them, we train them through a TOT training on gender issues, harmful gender norms that in existence in various communities that are marginalized women and girls, and even men too as well. And then they also move back into the community and train more people. So, and as community, each community develop an action plan. So, and each of the action plans were developed based upon the existing gender issues within each of those communities. So you notice that Rocky will have a different approach or a different action plan crafted by then or developed by then. We support them with the technical support and the financial support to be able to implement those action plans in that community. So as we stand, we have implemented all five action plans from the five communities, and we also established men and boys group in community. Like now, it's there where this comes in. We notice the issues of women and girls, the issues of violence perpetrated against women and girls, they are also perpetrated towards them by the opposite sex.
Okay.
So, yes, so noticing that the opposite sex, when we talk about violence against women and girls, it will obviously be the opposite sex. And when you are talking about violence against men, it might either be maybe men perpetrated violence against men or women also perpetrated violence against women. So that's
All
why.
right, all right. So I would like to hold you there because we don't have much time. Few more minutes from now, we'll be closing our first segment. People keep, I don't know when people arrived here, but we are taking you guys from 9 to 10, and it's 9:32 already.
Yes,
So
yes.
let's
just
have
finish
something to add to the public.
questions.
So I would like to ask as to if there's any sponsor for this program.
So of course, like I said, we're funding from the European Union and also support from the Foundation for Community Initiative, that's the FCR, Osfund. Those are people who are supporting and sponsoring this program, this project.
Okay, Grace, you have question. Go ahead.
Okay, so I want to know how many female you're working with, and what are some recommendations you have out there for women that has not found their way through, and not been able to go to school, and that they still finding it hard. What can you say to them?
So of course, we expect our institution. I am the lone boy, the lone man among the girls. So also we got eight stars and out of eight stars, I'm the boy, I'm the only man among them. And we also have two community volunteers and two community volunteers that work outside of the institutions are men. But within our system, we have internally we have seven girls that work with. So April here today, as part of our project, he's one of the beneficiaries, and it's also a success story deriving from the impact of this project. So I think April will just show light on what he learned in the course of training sections and how what he learned has impacted him and what he's trying to do with what he learned. So April, you can just go ahead with that.
Thank you very much. So once again, I'm Ibrahim. All right, what I realized throughout the training, some of those experiences that I had, I never used to have a healthy relationship. My relationship at home was not healthy. It was rocky. So from the enough program, I got to learn that there are things that you need to do in order to make your relationship to become balanced. And what are those activities? How can you leave the woman alone to do everything in the home? Because you're the man, because you are the one that say you are the head of the home, we say no. From the enough project, we say no. Not because you are the man, you think you are the head of the home. So you allow the woman to do everything. Like time, my wife leave in the morning to go to the market. She leave early morning by 6 o'clock to go to Gobacha market. She stay in the Gobacha market until 7, 8 o'clock p.m. And I did not go to work on a Saturday. Staying home and there are food in the house and I didn't cook. My wife came from the market by 8 o'clock, and she's the one now to come and cook again. So how does this look to her? It seems to be so much horrible. She see it's like she's a slave in the house. So after finish cooking, and gave me my food. I did not go to work, didn't do anything. Now asking for hot water to take bath. She have to provide hot water. Providing hot water after that, I take my bath, go and take a rest. Now, midnight, I want to turn around. And she's there saying, no, I'm tired. I'm saying, no, there's a need.
Okay.
So why are we doing this as men? I think there's a need. The time she was there in the market, I could try my best, even if I only cook 100%, but I could try my best to do something. Prepare the meal, and when she come home, then she can take a rest. Then she won't feel so much oppressive.
So, what is your message to men out there that feel that wife should do everything, or that girlfriend should do everything? Because you were able to participate in a project. I don't know if I'm calling you right.
Yes.
And what is it now you're doing? I think you should be the change agent. So I want you to tell people listening to the radio that feel okay. My wife will do everything.
Some of those changes you have made at home.
Yeah.
You have to teach them.
Yeah, so this is it. What I do is that at home, at the time when my wife is at home on the Saturday and washing my clothes, I make a time and making sure that I prepare the meal. So as she's washing, I'm preparing the meal. So after she finished washing, she got a meal to eat. You understand? Then she won't feel so much suppressive. She won't feel that everything is just about her doing it.
So
So we share the responsibilities.
at the time you were not doing such things, how was her reaction compared to time like this now that you are now doing when she's watching, you are cooking? At first, she used to do all her own, right?
Yeah.
And now you are now helping her. How's the reaction in the house? How's the home like?
All right. Before, when I never used to do anything like such, there was so many complaints. I would see my wife and no home and just talking by herself, and nothing like pleasing and no, nothing like happiness. So sometimes I say simple things, and those simple things make her angry. But now, seeing her that our watch is washing, I am not working at that time. So I'm here helping her to cook the meal. So after I finish cooking the meal and she's been washing, I see so many joy. I see so much joy in the house. So that beautified my relationship.
So
I want
you
to share that with the public.
and you are recommending to men out there that they be able to do the same
To
thing.
do the same. Not because we say women should be the one, your helper to take care of the home, and that means you leave everything with her.
Okay, so we will now go to the phone lines and let the public to interact with our guests in studio. You all heard it right. So you can put through your calls on 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907, and be able to participate on Good Morning Liberia. Again, I read out the numbers 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907. So we can continue talking till our call starts pulling in.
Okay, so
I think we have a call there. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm civil for our corner district.
Go ahead.
Okay, you see, what all make you do, they take women as slaves. What they still just is nice. For me, Saturday or holiday, where I don't go anywhere, I'm not waiting there. I help her. I say it's so very good for the woman. You know what, baby children that can do the washing. But she and myself, we kitchen, we cooking, we sharing phone, we joking. If I ask something, I say for a small road, so the wife is drinking it. No, you don't make more happy. Woman now slave, she's a helpmate. So as a man, you have to help the woman. And if at times you go to work, get on it, do the vegetable surprise the woman, bring it, put it in room. So that you can see fun.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Your line is very low.
Good morning.
Good morning. I think where do you join us from?
Good morning, Gary Harris. Now, from Benjamin Street.
You're live, David.
Yeah, I think you're still there, fair analysis on issues. I think that is how it should be. And for me, I've been there for my wife as an initial stage. Most often in the morning, I got my business place. I do the session of clearing around. Before I get there, I take the gallon and get to the well and filling all the gallon in the house. I ensure that I rush to the market, bring what I'm supposed to bring a little hot for going to my business place. I think that's how it's supposed to be.
We try to help our wife and we are not free. Our partner, we should do it equally 50-50. Thank you this morning for your platform.
Okay, thank
Thank
you
you,
for
Harris.
participating to be able to ask our stupid guests your questions. If you have any questions as it relates to your home matter, you can also ask the guy who went for the training and everything. So let's keep taking calls. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where do you join us from?
Good morning.
Good morning. You are live.
Good morning.
Good morning. You are live, my brother.
Yeah. I'm seriously Ramadan and I've called for the after my county.
Thanks for joining
Yeah,
us.
I want to say thank you to the studio guys.
Hmm.
You know, these days we men and we have gotten very, very wicked to the extent that we don't care. Most especially I see men that have girls, children and they are treating their wives. It is very, very dangerous. Because you're just teaching the next child to the next girl how to treat your grandchild. You know, relationship is not somebody being in slavery. It's about you leaving your family and the next person leaving their family and both of you coming together to help one another, to help achieve your goal together. Agreeing to work together and achieve your goal. It does not mean that one has become a slave. That's for me this morning, and our shop, I come this morning, open the shop today, weekend staff, and the woman leaves who to do small work. She says, don't buy who are trying to prepare small food to bring it for you. Because we are working together, we understanding. But people are not looking at direction. Even when they are working, they take things. They feel because the woman is sitting to the house cooking for them, washing their clothes, and taking care of their home affairs, the woman is just left busy. She's not doing nothing. The woman is not contributing anything, which is very, very wrong. That's a portion of the work that she's doing. If she was doing that for another person, she would have been paid for it. If she was a husband to somebody else, she would have been paid for it and she would have used that money for her personal benefit. But now she's doing it for you and taking care of you, making sure that you eat a good food, and before you go outside, she will observe you that you are well represented out there. So at this point, we coming on the radio as men in this ratio to let our fellow men to know that this aggression against women is not good for us because women are our mother, they are our sister, they are our wife, and they are also our children. So we just need to take care of them as our baby in all. Thank you so very much for the discussion this morning.
Okay, thank you for your time. To keep calling us on 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907, and be able to interact with our studio guests this morning. So Grace, that's just it.
Okay,
We have the
so-
callers. The callers they are saying it
So let
themselves.
keep putting in our course and
Yeah.
let it just take down his question. Please,
Yeah.
if there's
Yeah.
any question, anything you want to respond to, just keep it in mind or you jot it down. And after our interaction with the public, we will get over to you. So over to you now. Have you been able to teach your brothers and sisters about the things you learn?
So, personally, I'm the youth chairperson of my community. So, I'm organizing programs in the various activity centers, discussing this issue with the man, especially men. Men in the various activity center, telling them their responsibilities to their wives and how they can take care of them.
Okay. Let's keep taking the calls. Good morning. You have to walk away from your monitor.
Good morning.
You are live.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You are live. Go ahead.
Yeah, anyway, where you calling from?
I'm Brovey.
What is
My
it?
name is Wakai Sambola.
Why about that?
This issue about the home,
Hmm.
the wife, and the husband is a good one, but it's very important to discuss and for people to know their various responsibilities in order to have a good home. It starts from, like
from the Garden of Eden. God made man, Adam, and put him in that garden, and he saw that he was alone, so he gave him a wife. He made a wife out of his rib. That's where the home starts. So we should imitate whatever is to be done here. The man is the head in the home, and the woman is the helper. That is the husband and wife. Okay. So the man goes out to work and support the home, bring whatever is needed, and the wife is there to help as a helper to make that home operative or operational. You know,
Okay.
and they remain there and they have children, they bear children, and they also bring these children up as they should go. But it's also the responsibility of the wife as a helper to bring those children up with the provision of whatever is needed to be made by the husband. And that's how it goes.
All right.
So it's just that every man should play his own part in the home. The man and the woman, everyone plays the part in the home. But all are tied up to one thing, that as they work together, they must agree in consonant with Amos 3:3, that two must agree before we work together.
Okay, thank you.
Jesus' name. So
Thank you. So we don't have the females calling this morning. We even have men calling. We are in your favor this morning. You should start calling our lines and be able to make your point. But just before we go to our next caller, I would like to ask if should a wife be paid a man?
Should a wife be paid
Mhm.
by
All the
her?
work you give it to me.
Oh,
We are asking as if
why will a wife be paid by her man?
then why she can't be paid by a man?
I don't know from what context are you saying that a wife should be paid by her
For
man?
an example, like I'm at my house and I have
Okay.
my husband and I'm
Okay.
working in the house, right? My husband is at home every time he's going to work and stuff like that.
Okay.
So let me just take it from this angle. I started doing some kind of job. And my husband said, "Oh, Samira, sit down. I don't want you to work again. Just stay home and take care of the children.
Okay.
I will pay you monthly." It's the angle we are speaking from. In that case, the wife is being paid by her husband because he feels that he needs to stay home and do the housework. At times, people do it out of free will. At times, the woman will be working. And at the end of the month, they feel that they are entitled to give their woman certain amount of money.
So I think you have just answered your question.
Before you answer, she's talking because there's certain things called time use survey. I think you know about that.
Okay.
If you do time use survey, you know that the more than they all work, don't worldwide, it's about women. I mean, I'm in your house. Okay, let's just say I'm marrying you, she's your wife.
That was
She
good.
do, all the domestic chores is all, like all. Washing, cooking, cleaning. And if she were going out per hours to work for her bosses, she would be paid. Okay? And she doesn't even need to ask you. Don't you think in your right mind as a man, you're supposed to be paying her for the time she's spending to take care of the children?
Given that you are in position to do it.
Okay, so you see now you like I said, you have just answered your own question. So given that you are in a position like what I was said, two cannot work when they don't agree. So if actually there's an agreement between the wife and the husband, absolutely there is no problem with that. There is no problem with that.
If there is not an agreement, there will be a problem.
Well, there should be an agreement before things happen. Where there's no agreement, violence comes in. Violence comes in, and we are saying that men and women in the home, men has a responsibility. The woman also has a responsibility to the home. the upkeep of the home. Now, no, who
So
says
just
that?
before you go through, we want to take part in your party comments. Let's take course. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, you just raised a selling point for husband to pay the wife when it's working at home. Or it can be 100% of salary. But as a man, the more you work in the house, your salary that you earn at the moment, you should get pushed on stage to be able to attend to yourself for other things. Why it's true a man will take care of the home thing, but the woman need to get 30 percentage of her husband's salary so that she will be able to take care of herself as a wife. Therefore, our boy will not be also become men doing everything for her. So I think it's good for men to pay his wife.
Okay. Okay, so we will take the last call and we call it a day for the call segment. So let's go over to you so that
Yes. So you see, like I was saying, men should be able to take care of his home. A woman as a whole should also be able to take care of her home. Men has a responsibility, and the woman also has a responsibility. Our society have created a box that have placed men in a way that whenever men want to leave that box, they have to fear that when they leave this box, the society will lash them. A woman also, there's a box that women also have been created. We trained in the training section that when they are segregated and kept women in that box, when a woman leaves that box, and then it becomes a problem. So that's what leads to violence in our society. And some of the bosses that are the difference between gender and sex. People do not understand the difference between gender and sex.
So,
So when you do a box, the men box and the woman box, decide this. We don't have time for that, but you just open a line now and ask why the responsibility of the men will list all the responsibility and who will list all the responsibility of a woman. And now you notice that in the box, there are some in the main box, there are some responsibilities that were listed in the main box that a woman can do such
also,
thing, do
yeah,
the
so
same thing. And some responsibility or activities are also listed in the woman box that men can also do the same. So that's the gender. Gender is something that is something that we perceive as sex is our biological makeup. That's for instance, right? To cook. If you ask men call right now, they're going to tell you if for the woman box,
women box, yeah.
but can men cook? Yes, men can cook, right? To wash clothes, can men wash? Yes, men can also wash. To take care of home, right? Samara, who do you think is take care of the home? Is it the men?
That's where I will hold you. Because that Pacific role has been deep. Let me tell you, gender is socially constructed.
Great.
It's not fair. You people, the same society is the one that quote unquote make that role specifically for women.
That's the society that exactly. That's
So
the society.
it's not the woman role, it's quite across the board.
Listen to me. So we are saying the same thing. We are saying
But
the
you
same.
say who role it is. So
I'm
I
asking
guess
question to tell you
we
what
answer the
people
question.
think.
Yeah.
So people think that to take care of a home is male responsibility. But can't woman take care of home? Woman can take care of home. Can woman work and bring economic dividend and bring finance in the home and support the home? Women also do the same. But you notice that one of the success stories we have for one of our beneficiaries, you know what happens in the home? They may feel that he's taking care of the home. Like people say, like the caller was talking about giving a biblical analysis. The Bible says the men should be the head of the home, they should take care of their home, right? They may have that perception, and the guy broken legs. He cannot go to win bread for the home. But because he feel that he's the head of the home, when he leaves his wife to go out and bear bread for the home, the wife will grow with the perception that she's the head of the home, and she will try to, downplay him. And with that such perception, the guy deprive and deny his wife from going out in the market to bring food in the house. And what happens? After the training, the guy noticed that he was even harming his own home. And he gave his wife the opportunity to go out and run on their peace and harmony. So you see, people grow with such perception, thinking that man is the head. Like the Bible also, the Bible says that man is the head of the home. The Bible also says that men should also love their wife as Christ loved the church.
I think
How did Christ love the
church?
church? Christ loved the church by dying, by laying his life down. You men, are you also ready to lay your life down, die for your wife? Are you ready to do that?
I said no.
So it takes a lot. It takes a lot. That means that a man can also lower their arm, grow their hair, and allow their wife to explore when that wife is also in the position to bring economic dividends in the home while the man. It's just about love and and peaceful coexistence in home.
Okay, so let's go over to you. We'll start with you with your parting comment. What do you have to tell the public before leaving?
All right, so my parting comment for this time, I want to say to all the man out there, join your wife to share the responsibilities. Make sure that you don't have all the burdens being on them, so that they can feel that the love that you have for them is something of reality, and that which will be able to bring up a healthy relationship. And also to women, not because the man is the one responsible to bring everything in the home, to make sure to provide for the home so you can leave everything on the man after you have gotten married. Then you think all is well. You relax home and making sure that the man go and hustle and bring it. So I want you to see how best to balance it while out there getting this, you can be on the other side getting that. So making sure that when the both of you come together with whatsoever you have, and that bundle can be bigger and your family can go faster, and then you can have a healthy relationship.
Okay, so let's go over to the main man for the day. And you give your parting comment and also include your peace message to Liberians and also at the home areas.
Okay, so I'd love to say quickly we are winding down our Enough project, and with that we have a series of Enough activities coming up against gender-based violence. So we are organizing, we're mobilizing communities, all of our beneficiary communities, to have on the 23rd, we are having a debate, an inter-community debate among our 5 communities. They will be having a debate on gender issue, and the winner will be given a trophy. And on the 21st, we have a sporting event happening in Mama's Town, where between our main boss group in Mama's Town, Duazon, and that of Habel. So the activities are geared towards mobilizing community in the group to ensure that they take action against all gender-based violence is also minimized. So as my part equipment, I would like to say thanks in a million to our partners and our sponsors, the European Union, Liberia, the Foundation, the Foundation for Community Initiative, SCR, Oxfam. They are making sure to sponsor these programs and fund these programs, also provide some technical support to ensure that we move in the community to have the initiative established. There are so many challenges, but we believe that with support from partners, we are getting to where we want to get to by eliminating gender and harmful norms in our community. So thank you so much for the opportunity also to be here. We hope to have more partnership with us of Liberia.
Okay, so let's go over to Mr. Let's go over to St. Andrews so that he can take over from here.
Okay, so you people want to see your kids out, so we can say thank you so very kindly. You guys did extremely well, even though the number wasn't balanced in
Exactly,
balance,
exactly.
but that is your appreciated discussion.
Even the call to the numbers, the girls wasn't crying.
Exactly. Because you came in the studio
Thank you, man. Thank you ever so much. We appreciate it. Look forward to having more discussions with you people as the time passes by. Thank you.